So Lindsey's wearing an Ariel sweatshirt today because we watched Little Mermaid.
Yay!
So here we are, a video that absolutely, positively, I'm sure nobody asked for, the Little Mermaid spoiler review for the remake. Lindsey, I don't know how much there is to spoil about this movie necessarily, but we're going to sit here and talk about it for a bit. How are you?
Good. Really good, because I love Little Mermaid.
Yeah. It's your favorite animated Disney movie, huh?
It's one of them.
One of them?
Mm-hmm.
So Ariel is your favorite Disney princess, though, right?
One of them.
One of them?
I can't decide.
Not Anna?
One of them, but
One
yes.
of them. It's like trying to pick a favorite child. Favorite princess, favorite child. I can't seem to decide. What the heck is going on? Okay, so this review is going to be a little bit of a different spoiler review. We're just going to kind of sit here and gush about this movie for a little bit. Because honestly, I still stand by it after a second viewing. It is Disney's best live-action remake since The Jungle Book. And I don't know if it'll ever be, like, touched on that one. What?
I disagree.
What do you think is the best one, then?
You don't like it, and I don't know if it can technically count as a remake, because it is a new movie.
Oh, no.
But it was also based off of... I like Maleficent, because they advertised it as a remake of Sleeping Beauty, but it wasn't. He hates it, I love it. I'll get him to love it, it's okay.
Wait, does Cruella count? Like, I mean, if Maleficent counts as a live-action remake, might as well Cruella have it, like...
Okay, fine.
Maleficent.
My bad.
Maleficent. I can't. I can't right
I
now.
retract my statement.
I can't right now.
So, Little Mermaid.
Yeah, Little Mermaid. Yeah, that was a good movie, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It really was.
Despite the terrifying looking animals.
They weren't as terrifying to me after watching them throughout the movie, though.
For sure. I mean, I think if you took just a still photo of the Sebastian in this movie, like, yeah, absolutely not.
That one close-up where he's just swimming, and it's a close-up on him, and then it zooms out to someone else, and then it goes back to him. I'm like, we don't need it a second time. We didn't need it the first time.
No, not at all. You don't need a close-up of Flounder peeking up out of the ocean either, do you?
He's so tiny now.
Yeah. I mean, he's supposed to be tiny. He's a little guppy.
But he was, like, squishy, and now he's, like, flat.
Ariel keeps telling him, hey, stop being such a guppy, and now he's literally a guppy that you can buy at the pet store. And there's a lot of them that look like this Flounder. It's so, like, I don't like this design at all. I don't like it.
Business will be booming for the pet stores, though.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so, right? I mean, if they sell fish that look like this Flounder, yeah, totally. I don't know why you would want to buy a fish that looks like this Flounder without getting nightmares, but...
Well, because it won't sing to you, I hope.
No, it won't sing to you. Thankfully, he only had the little harmonies and Kiss the Girl this time around.
Those were such good harmonies!
Yeah, so what did you think of the... I'll just ask you, because you're a musical person also. Mm-hmm. What did you think of the songs in this one as compared to the original?
I like them all. I miss the Ursula song when she turns into Vanessa and is in her own little room trying to steal it and her plan and stuff. I miss that song. I wish they had that in this film. But I do really like the songs that they added. Mm-hmm. Except, this might be like a hot take, I did not like Eric's song.
Oh, yeah.
I get it. He has a great voice. But I did not like the song.
You could, like, yeah, I do agree in the sense that this song is not as good or as beautiful as her voice is from the Broadway version that came out, like, in the mid-2000s. This song, which is called Uncharted Waters, if my memory serves me right.
I think so.
It's fine, but you can certainly tell that this and all the songs they added have Lin-Manuel Miranda's name written all over it. Like, Scuttlebutt especially.
Scuttlebutt.
It's been stuck in her head for a while.
It's been stuck in your head, so now it's stuck in my head.
What are you talking about? It's not stuck in my head. I haven't been singing it all week.
That's a lie.
Yeah, so Scuttle in this movie is voiced by Awkwafina, who is very funny. They turned Scuttle into a female.
And a different breed of bird. I didn't know there were birds that could swim underwater.
It's not a seagull, yeah. No, my big problem with Scuttle is actually that first scene. because she goes down for a snack, and it's like just another fish, just like Flounder. And Flounder is not terrified in the slightest, and Flounder does not question why Scuttle just ate one of his friends. Oh yeah, I just dropped down for a snack, but yeah, you're next, Flounder. How come there wasn't a line like that?
Because they're best friends.
I don't know. I mean, Scuttle and Sebastian had a lot of pretty friendly arguments in their own right, huh?
They really did.
Mm-hmm. They were pretty funny, huh? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Funny together.
Yeah, they've always been funny in the original movie as well. And I like how similar it was to the original with a lot of the lines or scenes that they have, because there's some things that I really like in the original, and then they brought it back in a live action, and that made me really happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they gave this movie enough subtle changes where you notice that it's kind of a different story, but it never loses the essence of what this movie should be all about, you know?
Yeah.
It never loses the magic of the original either, which I think the director did a really good job with in actually staging the musical numbers. And I've heard some people say that they prefer this version of Under the Sea as opposed to the original.
Really?
Which is wild.
I like both.
Yeah, no, honestly, I can't really say that I prefer this version over the original just because of nostalgia purposes. And also the fact that the lyrics are very much misleading. And I'm going to bring this to my grave. There is not a single reference to a musical instrument. Well, I mean, there is in the lyrics. He sings about these various marine life people, or people things, rather, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, the fish.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. All the marine life. They are playing all these musical instruments, right? He's singing about them, but when he's singing about them, you just see Ariel riding a turtle shell, and they're just walking around. Why is nobody playing a musical instrument in this?
Because it's live action, and they wouldn't play it in real life.
Well, then change it. Change the lyrics. Change it. They didn't have a problem switching up the Ursula lyrics at all. In Poor Unfortunate Souls.
I forgot which one.
Yeah, so in the original, one thing they do is they have, of course, Ariel sign her name on that scroll to give her soul to the Sea Witch, essentially. This time it's a blood pact.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that. Almost.
Yeah, a drop of blood inside the bowl instead of go ahead and sign the scroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they switched up those lyrics there. But, like, why not switch up the lyrics in Under the Sea if you're not going to talk about the musical instruments or show any musical instruments?
Too many changes.
It's my OCD. It's my OCD coming into play, certainly.
Still very good, though. I do really like all the musical numbers, and honestly, the changes they made besides that are actually pretty good.
Do you have a favorite song?
No.
I know, that's like putting you...
Them?
You like all of them? Did you like Kiss the Girl this time around? I know you did.
The harmonies!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
Beautiful harmony.
Another change they made was, you know, in that whole Kiss the Girl sequence, you would have like a whole gigantic chorus of marine life or fish surrounding them.
They took out my favorite part, though.
What'd they take out?
Wow! 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 They took out Scuttle's little singing. I mean, they did kind of replace it where Scuttle sang a little bit earlier to be like, oh, I can serenade her, I can do this. But
it was
wasn't
funny, though.
in the song. But then they replaced it with harmonies, so I guess it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Scuttle, Flounder, and Sebastian are pretty much the only marine life that are present in that moment. And it's actually a very clever and adorable way that Eric learns Ariel's name.
The way Sebastian's just hidden under his hat.
He's so freaking creepy. And like when Ariel goes in to kiss Eric every time, Sebastian's just sitting there like, oh
like,
yeah,
yes,
oh yeah,
yes,
do
oh.
it, all. And he's so disappointed. It's so funny. But actually the way Eric learns Ariel's name is really sweet because they're looking up at the constellations. Aries is one of them, and it's really quite adorable what Ariel does. Like, you know, Ariel. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then does it like slower and slower until he says Ariel.
Mm-hmm.
Ariel. And it's really, really fun and sweet.
Those two have fantastic chemistry. I can't wait to see both of them in the future. Jonah Hauer-King I thought was really solid as Prince Eric. What'd you think of Halle Bailey?
I love her. I think she was really, really good for this role. Her voice is obviously beautiful. It's amazing. And she basically is a Disney princess with that voice. And it works out great. Like, the way she played the character still felt exactly like the original, minus the added songs. And I saw a lot of behind the scenes before actually going to watch the movie because, again, I am obsessed with Disney. So the way they did her hair was incredible. I don't know if you know this, but instead of giving her a wig or trying to figure it out, she already had those like dreads in her hair. So they just took the fake hair, wrapped it around that, and then added other pieces so her hair would flow both in and out of water. It was really cool. And then the fact that they made it a perfect red for her hair and didn't copy the bright red. Honestly, I am not mad about it at all because it was beautiful and it works for her and her looks and just, you know, her eyes with the hair, because a lot of people match that too. Because the bright red would just be like, it would seem incorrect in a way.
Yeah, definitely would have. And she, you know, she was born to play a Disney princess. I have said that many times. I said it in my spoiler-free review for this thing. She was absolutely incredible. And every single time that she sings a song, the part of your world sequence ends, I just wanted to stand up and clap like this, but I didn't want the other people around me to yell, "Shut up!" I didn't want people to do that, you know, because it's a movie theater.
Her voice is gorgeous, and the riffs that she does in that song, and she just makes it her own, but still keeps it true to the original, is really, really great.
Something that you got to hear in a theater, that's for sure. It just hits so much better and so much like, she's so good. She's so good in this movie.
Yes, and the way she plays Ariel like on land as well with the not having a voice is really good, because sometimes like in the animated film, it's kind of just Ariel. It's just like this cute little like, I can't talk. I'm just walking around nodding and like.
It's a lot more subtle.
Yeah, it's a lot more subtle where she's just kind of there as if you would be if you weren't talking. She's not trying to show that she can't talk. And then people just assume it's because she's traumatized.
And she doesn't make as big of a deal out of using the dingle hopper as they do in the animation. It's a lot more subtle, and I actually think that plays to the strength of the comedy, because it's like, oh, I know what to do with this. I know what to do with this.
They brought her back.
They brought who back?
Jodie Benson.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Jodie Benson. Yeah, she was sitting there. She was in the market, and she was one of the peddlers, I guess you can call them.
She gave her the dingle hopper.
Yes.
Because she gave her, like, do you want to try this? Whatever it was probably like a bowl of fruit or something. She takes that. I don't remember what Ariel does with the actual bowl.
She just puts it down. She
takes the fork and people are looking at her like she's crazy. So she just, like, immediately. And I also like that she did it in the way that she didn't know how to use it. She just knew that they curled her hair. Because when you have, obviously her hairstyle is different than the animated. The animated one, you can like stick it in and do this. With her hair style and stuff, it's a little more difficult to do that. So she's just doing what Scuttle told her, which is twirling it, and then realizes she's crazy because other people are like staring at her. So she just like drops it, and then it's a really fun scene.
Oh, totally fun scene for sure. The movie is very strong in the comedy sense also, but I think it also captured the family aspect of what The Little Mermaid should be about perfectly. Shout out to my buddy Jacob Hubbard, by the way, who hated Javier Bardem as King Triton, thought he was absolutely so boring and delivered every single line the exact same way. I appreciated the approach that Javier Bardem took to this character, just because, like, King Triton, yeah, you know, he's loud and he can be intimidating, you know, in the traditional sense in that way. I'm glad that they gave Javier Bardem a suit of armor as opposed to CGIing muscles onto him.
Yeah.
Or picking really an actor that was, like, you know, jacked out the gills as it is. I think he absolutely played the fatherly figure well. And I think he had a really interesting approach to a character that was already so well known. And one of the most underrated characters in Disney, I think.
Yeah, I liked it. It's definitely different from the original, but it doesn't seem like bad to me. I did really enjoy it. It is a little different, and there are still scenes that like almost make me cry like it did in the original. When he destroys the statue, which I have a problem with that statue.
Oh, that freaking statue. Okay, yeah, let's talk about the statue. It doesn't look a damn thing like Prince Eric at all.
It's just a statue.
It just looks like a dude. It looks like a dude, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I know they probably weren't going to go as full out with the other Ariel, or the other Eric statue that's just like, he's like all like proud, and he's got the armor, or he's got like the sash, whatever he has his outfit in the original film. But this one was just very boring. I didn't love it.
It was so... No, that was one thing that I absolutely did not like about this movie, was the fact that they just like, oh yeah, we can't make a statue of Prince Eric. If it wasn't Prince Eric and like it was supposed to be Prince Eric, because yeah, the way we edit the statue falling down to the surface with how Eric lays down on the beach, that's supposed to tell us that it's Prince Eric, but make it look like Prince Eric, you know?
Yeah, or give like some aspect to it that you would know it's him.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but... Yeah.
What'd you think of Ursula?
I loved her. I was a little concerned about it a little bit, because I know that she's a great actor. I love her, but...
Funny. Very funny actress, too.
Some of the clips I saw online with different comments was making me nervous, but I think those clips are more edited than like the actual movie, because it didn't sound like her, and I was like, oh, why did they make her sound like that? And then I went to the theater and watched it. I was like, oh, perfect, beautiful, I love it. I love the way she acted. I love the song. Poor Unfortunate Souls was so good.
That's my favorite song. That's my favorite song out of this movie.
I don't mind that they changed Ursula's tentacles to blue.
Yeah, no, I don't really mind that either, you know.
It's like a glowing octopus versus a color, and it was really cool. I also don't mind that I'm always bad at their names. Flotsam, and Jetsam.
Oh yeah, the eels. Yeah, they had zero dialogue.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Oh man, I mean they were fun characters in the animated movie, but yeah, I mean,
feel like it's better for this movie though, because we already have so many creepy creatures talking. I don't need creepy eels to talk.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. But
it was really good still.
You know, like, because the eels in the Little Mermaid original were almost like your Ka the snake in a way. Like, just, like, fun little side villains that kind of, like, seduce your main hero in ways that, you know, the main villain can't. Mm-hmm. But this time around, they were just, you know, menacing little sidekicks. They didn't have any, you know, they were Ursula's babies. Yeah. You know, they couldn't talk. And the fact that she actually inadvertently kills them at the end. The way she delivers that line is so great. And the climax of the movie is pretty much what you would expect out of this Little Mermaid. Ursula does turn into a giant, which the CGI does look a bit iffy here and there, but I didn't mind it.
I thought her face was a little scary when she became a giant, because it didn't look like her face.
No, it didn't look like her face at all.
I couldn't tell what was going on there, or if it was intentional or not. But that was a little, and not creepy in the fact where she turned into a creepy creature. Creepy in the fact that, like, it just didn't look like she had a face.
And I don't mind Ariel killing her either.
No, okay, I love the end of the movie because, like, going all the way back to when Ariel is, it's different in this one. She's on land in this one. In the original one, she's on the ship. Mm-hmm. But when it's technically supposed to be, I don't think it was a wedding yet. I think they were just having a party for Vanessa and him finding her.
That's
and
right.
And all this stuff. And then Ariel comes along and is, you know, like racing towards Vanessa and all this stuff.
Which I don't think they referred to her by Vanessa by name in this version. I don't think they actually outright say, hey, I don't think Eric has a point where he says, hey guys, this is Vanessa. Mm-hmm. I just met her. I'm going to marry her because she saved my life, you know?
Which, honestly, I do like how they gave Eric more character, because in the original, he's just like, yeah, I'm a prince, and I have this character. Wait, but I love this character.
Yeah.
And they gave him more where he was definitely just like, oh, I guess I'm supposed to marry you because you found me, I found you, and you saved me. Mm-hmm. But anyways, going back to the ending, it was really, really, really good with the way they kept it. They kept it original. They kept it the same. Mm-hmm. She's racing Ursula when she turns back into a sea witch, and Ariel is starting to turn into a mermaid. She's racing towards her, and they kept it almost exactly like the original animated film, and that made me really happy.
Yeah, they didn't change Flotsam and Jetsam into gigantic snakes. No. You know, they didn't do any of the Aladdin BS where they turn Iago into a gigantic parrot dragon.
That was weird.
I hated that. Hated that so much. I still do. But in any regard, this film, it ends pretty much exactly as you'd expect. Ariel harpoons Ursula. She gets her demise. It's pretty brutal. And King there's a little bit of a time period. There's a little bit of a gap where Eric and Ariel are separated. It's not like, Okay, ending comes along, King Triton zaps Ariel some legs, and bada bing, movie's done. There's some more development there. And
Yeah.
King Triton, he has, a great message of, hey, you got to let your kids grow up and go out and see the world and everything like that. And that's true on both sides.
I do like that she wore the same blue dress that she was given earlier on in the movie at the end, because there was no magic dress that appeared. It was more realistic in that aspect where, yes, King Triton gave her legs, but, she was probably still not in clothing when she came back. So she found the dress and put it back on, and that was a really nice scene to watch, that she just came back with Max, and it was really cool to see that she just appeared back on land and was there basically forever now.
Totally. Really nice scene. Really nice ending for a really nice movie, actually.
It's a heartfelt ending, too.
Yeah, this movie's really good, gang. I'm sorry. Say what you want about the Disney live-action remakes and say what you want about them running out of ideas. This is a really good this is a really, I almost said animation. That's not what this is. This is a really good adaptation of a well-known material. Has a really good message, really great performances across the board.
Yeah.
Aside from the really horrifying looking CGI on some of these sea life, I would watch this again. Yeah.
Oh, I totally would. This is going to be my new addition of favorites of live action films, because I do really, really love it. And I was a little nervous because Little Mermaid is my favorite and it could go completely wrong. Who knows? But I also just love all the scenes.
Aladdin, what? Sorry.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad. But I love the ones that they had with different scenes with Eric and Ariel that they added into this film. It gave them a lot more connection and kind of gave it that more realistic aspect instead of it just being a childhood fantasy kind of magical movie, which was still really good.
Totally. I agree with you, Lindsey. This was a lot of fun. Definitely expect Lindsey back for more videos and expect more fun content from me. I'm going to be out of town until Sunday, so I don't know if I'm going to be reviewing Transformers Rise of the Beasts until then. But guys, until then, smash that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up. It would really, really help with the algorithm. Helps get this content out there to more lovely viewers like you. It's going to be a fun-packed summer over here, gang. We got Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny at the end of the month. I'm going to be wrapping up that playlist. It should be a good amount of fun over here. We got The Flash. It's, we're stacked. We're stacked. Elemental, I can't forget that, speaking of Disney. So, she wants to see that too. But guys, thank you so much again, as always, for watching, and commence that back talk.